G'day viewers, Ivan here from Peak Off-Road Equipment, Wetherill Park, Sydney, Australia. And thank you for joining me here today, because today we've got a pretty cool thing. We've got a bit of a show and tell. The new TX-27 compared to the old TX-27, or what they used to call the original Max tent. Anyway, regardless of that, this one is out the door and this one's coming in. So I'll briefly run through the video with you. We're going to go through the old tent to accustom you to what it was before, and then we're going to go running you through the new tent. And also, I'm going to show what mountings come with it and what you can and can't mount it to. So now these tents, just to give you an idea, the old tents, this is the last of the original series where they had this box section on it. It was difficult to mount an awning. It couldn't mount the Max awning, the 270 Max awning on this old tent. Now the whole range, the TR, the AX and the DX are all running with this new base at the bottom, which we will show you. It's pretty exciting because we used to do Bundatech here as well. And Bundatech is a very, very, very old tent, and you can't mount any of these. Or you can. We put man on the moon, so hey, we can mount anything on anything. But for the simplicity wise, with all the new awnings that are coming out on the market, the freestanding awnings, they require a very solid mounting. Now this is not mounted easily. So with these tents now, we have a good solid mount, and all the Bush Company tents are the same. So all the mountings are the same, all the bases are the same, the way you mount it to, which we'll show you, the load bars are the same, and we'll show you some other options as well. All right, let's get into it. Let's have a look and recap on the old Max original tent. Okay, well today, instead of Artie shooting the videos today, we've got David. This is his first one, so be kind to him in the comments. Say hello, David.
G'day.
He's young, he's trying out his hand. He's so far doing a good job with lighting and everything else, so hopefully the sound and everything turns out well. Anyway, the reason we're here is to have a look at this tent. Now this was the original tent, and this tent's been out for, Jesus, 4 or 5 years, maybe even longer. Just a brief insight is, this tent had no USB or anything of that nature. It did have the light up the top, and if you notice up here it has these Velcro, bungee cords. So just stay there, David. And when you bring the tent down, when you bring this tent down, the bungees help the tent to go in, right? Stay there, David. As you can see with that tent there, it's fairly easy. Now this is what a DX-27 tent looks like. So this is based off the DX-27. So over here, when you open it, it's a few latches, you're opening the tent up and you're back into it. So what you've got here, very simply, is a tent that you have the option of putting, or having the option to, in bad weather, to have the top down, so that gives you into a DX tent. And then if you want the room, you don't want to be filled claustrophobic, then you can pop it back up. Now the beauty of these tents is, when I mentioned the word Bundatech before, there really was initially the first ones that actually opened straight up. And that gave you 4 points of entry and plenty of ventilation. Also, the missus sometimes goes, I don't want to stick my head in the corner. I feel claustrophobic and all nervous, and get a report and everything will be great. So this tent was done with the old rails. We also needed what they called Z bars to mount it to a load bar. Like a load bar is like this, and then the Z bars will go across, and you bolt that to the tent and you bolt that to the thing. Now the mountings on the new tent are all north-south, the same as the AX, the same as the DX, and I'll show you how this mounts because it's super important. It's the biggest question that's been asked. Just quickly going through it, the new tent compared to the old tent is pretty much basically the same. The canvas is a little bit better. Fly screens are good, mattress is pretty much the same, the base is completely different and lid is completely different. So basically it's a brand new tent, but this old style. All right, let's go have a look at the other tent. Right. Woohoo, have a look at this. All right, so this one here is, as you saw from the other one, got a lot changed inside here. Yeah, it all looks good. It's got a set of pockets which are Velcroed up the top, and that's all pretty easy. Now, they do have this tube here, so if you do want to put a light in, so I don't know why they haven't deleted this, because this used to be the canvas that hold the wire in, so you can run up the top, but they've kept it for some reason. It's got plenty of pockets, including the storage up the top, all midgie nets. Now it has a inside and outside canvas with the fly screens that go upwards, which I like. In most cases, this one side will never be open, and you have access. Now, what you get with the tent is this here is your second ladder mount, and also this Velcro portable light, USB chargeable, and right down here are the sockets, both sides, his and hers. Now, like the first tent, because this one's got the twin poles at the back, and it's going to be very hard for me to show you here, and you can have a look at Dean's video on the what do you call it, the Bush Company website, and the bungee cord. They've gotten rid of the bungee cords inside, but they've retained these clips, which is not a bad thing. You can always hook something across the top and hang your towel up there. I don't know, whatever you need to do. Realistically, the room here is fantastic. It's just, you get away from that wedge for the normal tents, right? So when you look at buying a tent like this, work out what you want to do. It has less load up the top, so you can't put as much on the top as you can on, say, the AX tent, or any of the other tents will look like a wedge-tail eagle. These ones, solar panels, I suggest glue on solar panels and keep it very light. It's just the way it is. You can't do too much. Also, the tent comes in at a heavy weight. They're talking around about the 130, 136 kilos, and that is a lot for a lot of things. By the time you put a heavy awning on, say the max awning, which is over 30 kilos, plus some mounts and some load bars, we're running 170 kilos. For a trailer, perfect. Absolutely perfect for a trailer. And these already are selling for trailers, for your Patriots. Geez, what I had the other day, I had one of those signature camper ones, the little ones. They were looking at putting this on straight away. So makes a huge difference. All right, so you get a bag, you get a ladder with it. Now, just here, Dave, we'll just go back over here. This ladder mount here, sorry mate, I'll put you this one. The old one only had one center bolt. The new one's here, and I have the ladder here. Stay there, Dave. And this is a brand spanking new ladder. I'll bring this out to you again. So that's fine. Brand spanking new. They used to only have the one, and now they've got the two, and we're just gonna whack it down. Now, the advantage of the two, it is a lot more solid. Disadvantage, when you're on unlevel ground, you can't, like the old one, bring the ladder too much to the left or right. So that's kind of a disadvantage. Rightio, mounting time. If you can see this, they've got two rails going north-south. Now, if you've got a 200 series, you have a backbone and you'll be fitting one of these bars on, right? If you've got a canopy, sometimes you've got the square tube. These are one of the brackets that you get with the tent. So you can see, you just run your bolt in, very simply. So run your bolt in, let's undo it a tiny bit. That would be on your canopy. You put your tent on top, and Bob's your uncle. Now with a load bar, you've seen these before. These are Rhino feet, a standard 42mm uni-strut bar. They sit like this, and then we put just let me get my little brackety thing out. Here it is. Now, these are my brackets. Bush Company have their own ones, which are on their website as well. You can come pick these up off me. You either use a Unistrut channel nut here. So the channel nut will be like this, and I'll show you that in a second. Like if you can see this, anywhere along the tent. So this is an Alu-Cab bar. This is the same as the Bush Company bar with the extrusions top and side. And all you see is the difference here is it's just a bolt and a nut that runs into that runs into here. Unistrut, half Unistrut. What you have on the Unistrut is a channel nut. These are all M8 channel nuts, and you just, once you put this on, you slide your bracket in, and then you drop this on top, and as you see here, if you put it in the center, it just turns. It should turn. It turns, and off you are, you're tight. So to mount this onto a set of load bars, is really super easy. Super easy. If you don't use the clamping method, which we don't use here, there's no need to use it. We would, if you had, for instance sake, just a square tube, would run the bolt like that. Just use that one that way, just run it like that, or you can run it like that. Right? And then we'd drill and mount the holes that way. So for mounting these little brackety things, they're just L brackets. Bush Company have a black set. It's quite a little bit narrower. We've just made our own. It's just an L bracket, nothing too exciting. And we've just so we can actually have a little bit more meat on this. All right, up we get. Oh God. All right, so when we're looking at this, mounting wise, very easy. Just stay there for a second, David. I'll grab this. So on the top, I think you guys have seen plenty of these load bars. These load bars go on top of the tent. And if you just zoom up there, Dave, those are those load bars right there. They're just very simple. You can multi-function anything you want, and very simple. Also, they come with the MaxTrack brackets. Right, so instead of having the solar panel, you can put a set of MaxTrack brackets on. So that's all pretty easy. What can I say? 136 kilos. So, the other big difference is, I'm going to pull you out this strut here. Notice this difference. Oh my God, thank God. These were always getting more bent. You always had to straighten these ones out over a long period of time, but it's just so much easier. And now it's so much easier when you're putting these on. Have a look at this, Dave. Imagine this is now, I'm going to say, now the tent here is this high. So imagine this, how far, I'm 6'3". You just put it in here like this, and how cool is that? Hey, how cool is that? Much easier to work with a much shorter pole like this. It's got a big hook on it. We used to weld washers on here for cars that were really high and you wanted to hook and throw it in. So yeah, much easier. All right, I wanted to show you, it's probably easier to do it on this one, Dave. Let's get the light over. We're back in a second, I'm just going to grab some lights. Right, I'm back. Okay, I did want to show you on this one because the other one's a little bit wedged up against the building. When I close this down, because this is exactly the same. This is exactly the same. Sorry, it's a bit dark. Let me just stay there, David. I'll just grab a bit of light. Can you see that a little bit better? Much better. The distance from here This is where the top of the tent to here, it's about 200 mil. It's huge. I could throw 2 small children here, close the lid, and that'd be okay. And you can go 400 or 500 kilometers without a problem. So just think of it as child restraint. Very interesting, very good. Put everything you want in here. Ladders, kids, close it up. Don't worry about having anything in the car. All right, with that, I think we've covered most things. Let's finish up and I'll see you there. Right, we've come to the end. Did I forget anything? We talked about the load bars on the top. We talked about the spring poles, how to mount it, the new ladder. Instead of the single ladder, we've got the double bunger ladder with the side mount, so you can put that on either side, front, back, or sides. All the fan mounts, everything's still fit. I remember. Awning brackets. When you buy an awning, you get 2 of the, not when you buy an awning, you buy an awning and it has no brackets apart from these L brackets that come with that, and that's a separate video. But for a tent, and you want to mount an awning to the tent, you end up with 2 of these and 1 of these. And I think you can see it from there, but basically they just go like that. So if you can see that, it goes like that, downwards orientation if you've got room for the awning, or upwards. It's a matter of just putting the bolts, M8s underneath, and then you're done. The weight of the tent was 130 plus. I haven't weighted exactly, but from all reports it's 136. So it is what it is. There's a lot of tent. Now, this is a TX-27 standard, which means, like the old one, it's only 1400 wide, roughly 2300 long, 22 something. Long, but 1400 wide. That number is important because the new Max that's coming out, which will be super cool, and that's going to be for more the American trucks, ones that can take a little bit more weight, will be 1600 millimeters wide. 1600, which is huge. Anyway, I think I've dribbled on for long enough. I think we've covered everything. So I'm going to call it quits. Thank you very much, guys, for listening to me dribble, and we're very excited to have this tent. We've been waiting for a very, very long time to have it, and this completes Bush Company's remake of all their tents to the standard base that we have here now, which means all the awnings fit, all the spotlight brackets, the mountings are all now super easy, that big pile on the ground. So thank you very much. I'll see you out there in the bush. Hooroo, guys. Cheers. Oh my God, it's so hot here. Oh, I'm done. See you guys.